Okay guys, I'm going to do this just a little bit differently today. I'm going to let the video kind of do its own thing, and I'll make whatever notes are appropriate on that when I do my editing. But I wanted to take the time that I've got during this video to cover something that I've mentioned a couple different times. So this is an article from the CrossFit Journal back in 2002. It was written by Greg Glassman, and it's called "What is Fitness?" I'm going to skip the first part because it kind of is just giving kind of the premise, basically, that there's not really a great definition of what it means to be fit. There's different organizations, or a magazine named somebody the fittest on earth, and they don't really have some sort of a standard for defining that. And so that's what this article kind of dives into. So it says CrossFit makes use of 3 different standards or models for evaluating and guiding fitness. Collectively, these 3 standards define the CrossFit view of fitness. The first is based on the 10 general physical skills widely recognized by exercise physiologists. The second standard or model is based on the performance of athletic tasks, while the third is based on the energy systems that drive all human action. Each model is critical to the CrossFit concept, and each has distinct utility in evaluating an athlete's overall fitness or a strength and conditioning regimen's efficacy. Before explaining in detail how each of these 3 perspectives works, it warrants mention that we are not attempting to demonstrate our program's legitimacy through scientific principles. We are but sharing the methods of a program whose legitimacy has been established through the testimony of athletes, soldiers, cops, and others whose lives or livelihoods depend on fitness. So it had already been going a while at this point, and he's just saying he felt like they have proven that it works. Now they're just trying to explain to people why it works. So the first fitness standard. There are 10 recognized general physical skills. They are cardiovascular/respiratory endurance, stamina, strength, flexibility, power, coordination, agility, balance, and accuracy. And it says you can look at general physical skills, page 4, for definitions. I won't skip to that and define all those right now. You are as fit as you are competent in each of these 10 skills. A regimen develops fitness to the extent that it improves each of these 10 skills. Importantly, improvements in endurance, stamina, strength, and flexibility come about through training. Training refers to activity that improves performance through a measurable organic change in the body. Or in other words, if you sampled the tissue would be different because of those things. By contrast, improvements in coordination, agility, balance, and accuracy come about through practice. Practice refers to activity that improves performance through changes in the nervous system. Power and speed are adaptations of both training and practice. CrossFit's second fitness standard. The essence of this model is to view that fitness is about performing well at any and every task manageable. And I mentioned this in a previous video, this hopper concept. Picture a hopper loaded with an infinite number of physical challenges where no selective mechanism is operative, and being asked to perform feats randomly drawn from the hopper. This method suggests that your fitness can be measured by your capacity to perform well at these tasks in relation to other individuals. The implication here is that fitness requires an ability to perform well at all tasks, even unfamiliar tasks combined in infinitely varying combinations. In practice, this encourages the athlete to, this is a good word here, disinvest in any set of notions of sets, rest periods, reps, exercises, order of exercises, routines, periodization, etc. So basically it's saying the more routine you have in your training, the more your body's going to adapt to that routine and unadapt to the variety of the other things that could happen out in the world or in your everyday life that you ask it. Nature frequently provides largely unforeseeable challenges. Train for that by striving to keep the training stimulus broad and constantly varied. Okay, the third fitness standard. There are 3 metabolic pathways that provide the energy for all human action. And I think they have amended this to say that there are at least 3, because that's kind of science. Like, we're constantly finding out there's new things in the body or in nature that we didn't know about. So this is kind of some stuff that we do kind of have a handle on. These metabolic engines are known as the phosphagen pathway, the glycolytic pathway, and the oxidative pathway. And I'm having like PTSD from biochemistry right now. Yeah, like ATP and all that stuff that just kind of melts your brain when you're trying to study it. But anyways, this is broke down not as complexly as biochemistry. The first, the phosphagen or phosphogenic pathway, dominates the highest powered activities, those that last about 10 seconds. So think about these deadlifts right here that I'm doing. Like, that's that big burst of energy to pull that heavy weight. The second pathway, the glycolytic, dominates moderate powered activities, those that last up to several minutes. So that's kind of your anaerobic side of things. Like, you're not to get that power to your muscles and move those muscles, you're going to be breathing during that time, but really there's not enough time going on between like that breathing and you using those muscles to really get the energy from those breaths that you're taking. So anyways, that's anaerobic. The third pathway, the oxidative, dominates low-powered activities, those that last in excess of several minutes. So that's your aerobic. So that's like your jogging or kind of longer distance, longer time frame type stuff. Total fitness, the fitness that CrossFit promotes and develops, requires competency and training in each of these 3 pathways or engines. Balancing the effects of these 3 pathways largely determines the how and why of the metabolic conditioning or cardio that we do at CrossFit. Favoring one or two to the exclusion of the others and not recognizing the impact of excessive training in the oxidative pathway are arguably the 2 most common faults in fitness training. And he says more on that later. And I'm not going to go into that because we don't have time right now. But basically what he's saying is if you're running all the time and you're kind of running these longer distances, you're going to be sacrificing muscle. And if you're lifting all the time, like if you like the powerlifting and getting bulked up, you're going to be really sacrificing your ability to do kind of that longer distance stuff. And it's all a balance, right? And that's what CrossFit's about. So I think when people are kind of picking on CrossFit and saying, oh, well, those guys don't look very strong, or then like somebody from like marathon racing is like, well, those guys can't go very long or very far. That's not really what they're trying to be. They're in CrossFit, you're trying to be a generalist where you're trying to be not even good at any one of those things. You're just trying to be well-rounded in all of that stuff. And yeah, anyways, I think it's got a lot of practical application. Anyways, I wanted to kind of read that part to you today so that you could kind of see where those things were coming from. And I'll try and dig into some of that in my later videos and just develop my own understanding of it, and then maybe kind of share some of that with you guys. I like that, and I've said it before, I like that idea of the hopper. Like, if there's something that gets pulled out of a hopper, can you do it or not? And can you do it well or not? Because that's kind of life. Like, that's every day for us. Things are getting pulled out of the hopper, and we're getting asked to do it. So anyways, I think I will end it here. Yeah, it looks like my video is, or at least the workout's over. Yeah, this was a workout that I really wanted to do because I thought I could do well at it. I went back and looked at some of my deadlifting times, some of my box jumps times, and then I kind of plugged it all in. And I'm like, oh, okay, I think I could get about this many reps. And then I looked it up on the leaderboard. I'm like, well, crap. I think it was like 105 reps, only put me at like 42nd percentile or something. And I'm like, well, maybe I'll be able to do better than that. I don't know. I'll see when I get going. And I didn't on this one. I think I only got 100 reps, which put me at like the 31st percentile or something. And yeah, it was a little bit surprising. I don't know. Maybe everybody was lying back then or something, or maybe I was just really slow on it. So anyways, I'll let you guys go. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and subscribe and like. Thanks.